Hello students, today we are going to discuss some new terms from the topic the solar system. So students, in our earlier video we have discussed about the terms like the universe, the sun, the solar system. Then we have discussed about the stars and the planets. Today we are going to discuss the terms like satellites, asteroids, comets, then we have meteoroids, shooting star. All these are the heavenly bodies. So let us see what are these terms about. So students, satellites. So what are satellites? But before that, before telling you what is satellites, let me tell you that the moon is a natural satellite of our planet Earth. And if we move to the term satellite, then satellite means small heavenly bodies that revolve around a planet. So each planet is having some or the other satellite which is revolving around it. Some of the planets have more satellites. Our planet Earth is having one natural satellite which is known as the moon. The next point is asteroids. So now what are these asteroids? Asteroids are rocks of various sizes. So asteroids are the rocks which move in the space or which move in the solar system, and these asteroids are rocks. They are nothing else but rocks which are of various sizes. Some are small, some are big, some are huge. So these are the rocks which keep moving in the space. The next is comets. So what are comets? Comets are very small objects that are made up of gases and dust particles. So comets are also heavenly bodies. These comets, they keep moving in the space, and these comets are nothing else but they are very small objects that are made up of gases and dust particles. Right students? The next is meteorites. Now what are these meteorites? Meteorites are formed when the asteroids collide with each other. So we have seen that asteroids are the rocks of various sizes. When two rocks collide with each other, or we can say when the two asteroids, they meet with an accident in the space itself, what happens? They break into smaller pieces, and when they break into smaller pieces, what are formed? Meteorites are formed, right? Then the shooting star. So what is a shooting star? So students, when a meteoroid enters the Earth's atmosphere, these meteoroids, they keep moving in the space, and once this some of the meteoroid enters into the Earth's atmosphere, it is called as a meteor. What is it called? When the meteoroid enters the Earth's surface atmosphere, it is called as meteor. And when it enters the Earth's atmosphere, it starts burning. Right? When the meteor enters into the Earth's atmosphere, the heat inside it increases and it starts burning. And when it starts burning, some rays of the fire look coming out of it. You might have seen when in movies or on the YouTube videos, somewhere on the televisions also we can see that when the rockets are propelled, when they are let out, what happens? They give some light. The pressure is developed there, and when they start moving up, some huge pressure is left below. And how does it look? It looks like some light is illuminated there. Just like that, the meteor also gives out some light when it enters into the Earth's atmosphere, and because of that, it looks like light streak. It seems like some light is coming out from that meteor, and so it is called as a shooting star. Shooting star is nothing but a meteor which has entered into the Earth's atmosphere, and when it enters into the Earth's atmosphere, it starts burning and it starts showing some streak of light, and that is why it is called as a shooting star. So students, after all these terms, I would like to tell you one important thing about our planet Earth. So we all know that the Earth is the only planet in the solar system where life exists. But do you know why life exists only on our planet Earth? Yes, life is possible on the Earth because of the presence of atmosphere, presence of oxygen and water. So for a human being to be alive, the first and the most important thing is the oxygen, which we use for breathing. Also the water. So water and oxygen is available only on planet Earth, and that is why life exists only on our planet Earth. And the atmosphere which is there on the Earth, it protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Also the Earth is having various landforms like mountains, plains, then rivers are there, valleys are there, oceans are there, water sources are there on our planet. And it is believed that the Earth was very hot during the early part of its formation. So it is believed, there has not been any proper evidence for this fact that the Earth was very much hot when it was formed, but it is said by the people of the olden times that when the Earth was formed, it was very hot. It took millions of years for the Earth to cool down. So it is just believed, there is no evidence of any such thing, but it is believed that when the Earth was formed, it was very hot, and it took a lot of years, or we can say it took millions of years for the Earth to cool down. Students, now we are going to see about the structure of the Earth from your textbook itself. Students, now we are going to discuss structure of the Earth. So you can see the Earth has egg-like structure. Here you can see the picture which shows structure of the Earth. So the outermost layer you can see here, it is the crust. The next part is the mantle, and then comes the core. This is outer core and this is the inner core. So students, the structure of Earth is just like an egg, and like the egg, it has a center. In the egg we have a yolk, and the Earth is having core. So this core is surrounded by the egg white, right? And the inside soft part is the mantle. So this is the outer shell, and here we have the yolk of the Earth. Same like the egg, structure of egg, the outer part is hard and the inner part is soft. So the first part is the crust. The outermost layer of this Earth is called as the crust. The thickness of this crust varies from different places. So at some places it is about 6 km or 7 kilometers. So it varies from 6 km to 11 kilometers under oceans. But at places where we have high mountains or hills, it is about 70 km thick. And this crust is made up of rocks, and it consists of oceans and continents. And life exists on this crust. It is on this surface that life exists, or we can say human beings, that is we live on this crust. Okay students, the next part is the mantle. The layer that lies between the crust and the core is called as the mantle of the Earth. This mantle is partially a molten layer. Molten layer means it is liquefied because of the heat. So it is about 2900 km thick, and it contains a lot of iron and magnesium. So this mantle layer is rich in minerals. The next is the core. Core means the center of the Earth. This center is divided into two parts, that is the outer core and this is the inner core. So the outer core is about 2300 km thick, and it is made up of molten iron and nickel. Whereas the inner core, it is about 1200 km thick and is like a solid ball of metal. It is also made of iron and nickel. Students, just look at the two more terms that I want to explain you. First one is axis. So what is axis? Axis is an imaginary line that passes through the center of the earth, and it comes out from the earth at the north pole and the south pole. So it is an imaginary line just for our studies. So axis, if a definition is asked to you, you have to just write axis is an imaginary line passing through the center of the earth and coming out from the earth at the north pole and the south pole. The next is equator. So equator is an imaginary line as well, which divides the earth into two equal halves, that is the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. The upper half between the north pole and the equator, it is called as the northern hemisphere, and the lower half between the equator and the south pole, it is called as the southern hemisphere.